It's that spooky time of year again where kids dress up to get candy from strangers but without the risk of getting abducted. Hopefully. That's right, it's Halloween, and every Halloween needs a spooky video related to Halloween, which is what I'm providing. I've been inactive for these past months, so it's nice to finally brew more content. The topic is 5 gaming moments that scared me as a kid, which was inspired by this special day. Because these are gaming moments from my childhood, you won't see recent games like I had in time, despite it having the single freakiest shit I've witnessed in any game. Might be an odd example, it having such a low age rating, but I'd say the scariest moments come from games that are usually harmless, because that's where you expect them the least. That's why I didn't simply make a video about the scariest games in general, not like I played many games that are supposed to be. You're at your most vulnerable while growing up, so while these moments I'm about to list don't scare me anymore, they definitely used to. Halloween is more of a kid tradition anyway, so it makes sense why I'm relating it to my own childhood. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. It's time to get spooky! Number 5. Ghost Girl from Pokemon Y. Okay, this is an odd choice. I mean, this game came out in 2013, which wasn't really that long ago, so it shouldn't have affected me much compared to earlier instances. Coupled with that, most Pokemon fans agree that this isn't the scariest moment in the series, but I have my reasons for choosing it. Whenever something else spooky happened in the games, I suppose I didn't process the disturbing depth to them. After all, I couldn't read English very well back then. This moment resonated with me because of how unexpectedly creepy it was. It came completely out of nowhere in a serene environment, so it shook me quite a bit. She haunted me enough to make the list, but because it's so recent, it has to rank the lowest. Number 4. TNT Barrel Missions from Sly 2 Band of Thieves. I was going to put the sound effect from failing a job here instead, as it's pretty unsettling, but when I realized that it doesn't even appear after getting killed in a TNT barrel mission, I just went with TNT Barrel Missions. Getting killed in such a mission is the worst feeling in the game, aside from controlling a turret of course. Unlike turret missions, TNT barrel missions are some of the sneakiest missions in the game and therefore very quiet, which means that it's super startling to get discovered during them. The worst parts are whenever you have to pass a guard, as it takes a while to do and they're sometimes incredibly quick to turn around. If you're in the middle of a guard's path, you're fucked because they will eventually destroy the obstacle, killing you, making you have to restart the mission. It's still nerve-wracking today, but it's more of an annoyance really. Number 3. Gigantomech from Ratchet & Clank 2 Going Commando. I have a handful of scary memories from Ratchet & Clank, whether it be Nebula G34, Zeritone and Freaky Monsters, or Blackwater City for its infamous sewer section, which prevented my progress in that game for a while. The Gigantomech halted my progress too, but not because of difficulty, rather because I didn't have the guts to tackle it. I would simply look upon this giant robot and not think twice about backing down, kind of like this. It's funny because when I eventually decided to confront my fear and face this boss, it was laughably easy, and since then he's never bothered me again, other than the fact that it's an overly long, terribly designed boss fight. Number 2. Epic Creatures from Spore. A few games use this tactic where if the player swam too far away from the map, a big fish would eventually swallow you whole. The scariest use of this was in Spore with its humongous sea creature. However, that's not the game's scariest beast, just wanted to mention this because that was a common spook trend. To me, the scariest beasts were the epics. I mean, just look at them. They're enormous, super strong, super aggressive, and have 1000 health, which means I can't defeat them. There was always this dilemma whenever I found the big skeletons, because while it meant I could loot amazing items, it also meant a giant was nearby, and whenever they showed up, I ran for my dear life. The winged ones were especially terrifying. The reason this entry isn't number 1 is because the epics aren't that terrifying when you realize you can easily kill them with a familial intervention, and also because the next entry is simply way scarier. Number 1. Canaran from Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc. This is a very predictable choice, but I'm sure most who played Rayman 3 at a young age will agree when I say the Canaran were fucking terrifying. When you get to the desert of the Canaran, it does have a creepy tone, setting you up for scary shit later, and despite that, the Canaran reveal still comes as a punch to the balls. The ground beneath crumbles, the music intensifies, and then, these screaming monsters start attacking you. If that wasn't enough, you have to stealth your way through them in complete silence, while they threaten you with lines such as
"Crush his bones. Skin him. Make him write bad checks.
Okay, sure, their threat level reduces whenever they joke around, but that's after you've already been scarred for life. I don't find the Canarans scary anymore as an adult, and they're nothing compared to Queen Vanessa's manor from A Hat in Time, but the Canarans scared me the most during my gaming childhood, and it apparently terrified many others during their childhoods as well. And there you have it. I'm glad to get some activity on this channel again, and I'm thinking of doing another project soon, so that I don't hit yet another stalemate. There will also be countdowns of my favorite games and TV shows of 2018 at the start of next year, so stay tuned. I'm Arcadon, and hopefully we'll see you next time.